Okay, so my business started 3 years ago. I've worked in management and accounting and finance for a long time, and human resources. Came to the end of a position and was kind of at a bit of a crossroads about what I was going to do. Decided that I would like to do something that brought me joy and that I really enjoyed doing. I think for me, particularly after the Black Saturday bushfires, given that we're in Traralgon South, my attitude towards work changed to be, I wanted to do something that I loved and I enjoyed, but I didn't want it to consume me. So I wanted to, what do they say? Live to work, not work to live? Or is it the other way around? You know what I mean. And so the idea of doing things that create memories and make people feel better about themselves was really important. And it was something that made me feel good to do as well. So that's where the business started. It was a little bit, well, let's see where it takes us. Let's see what happens. And I've been really happy with the progress that I've been making. You know, it's been nearly 3 years. One of the things that I said early on was that if I'm going to have a photography business, I need to have an office I can work in. So I managed to buy this beautiful studio and put it on our property, and converted that into an amazing office with all this beautiful natural light that I can work in and see clients in. And it's a lovely space, and it is. And it's been 3 years of a job that makes me happy every day. Probably my biggest passion is for wildlife photography. I've been to Africa twice, and I've been to the Galapagos Islands, Lord Howe Island as well. So particularly bird photography, hence partly where the name came from, Little Birdy Photography. So wildlife photography is a real passion that, you know, as a little kid, I read Born Free. My nana gave it to me when I was in primary school, and I read that over and over again, and all I ever wanted to do was visit Africa. And so then I had an opportunity to do that and do it as a photographer, as a part of a photography group. The most amazing experience. So Kenya has a part of my heart now. I was going to go back there this year, but I might go back again next year. But part of that as well is people, and I love to photograph people. Little people, babies, old people, couples, you know, and that's why I call myself a family photographer, not a specialist in children or newborns or weddings. I photograph all of the moments that matter to people, with a particular emphasis on having fun, things that are very relaxed and casual, but also connection with people. And that's what I love to do the most. Okay, so Little Birdy Studio, Little Birdy Photography Studio is on Facebook and Instagram. And also I've just launched my new webpage with the help of Latrobe Valley Authority and the Latrobe City. I got a grant to get a webpage designed, which was amazing. And I used Gippsland in Warragul to help me design that. So we've just launched that last week, and that's littlebirdiephotography.com.au. And I'm in Traralgon South, but I work all over Gippsland. I go out on location where you often see us in parks or in the bush or down by the beach, wherever people need the photos taken. My newborn work I do on-site lifestyle being at home, in the comfort of your own home with your newborn baby. So you're relaxed, baby's relaxed, and it's like hanging out with a couple of friends, and we just go with the flow. And it's about trying to find that connection with you and your baby in those first few days when you're getting to know each other. And it's a really special time, and it's lovely to be a fly on the wall at that and capture those really candid, natural moments. I like making people happy, I think, but I love the creativity of it as well. I do a lot of family work, and I do weddings, but it's you get into a space when you're photographing where you're looking to see where the light is and how the light's going to hit people or the scene that you're trying to display. And then you're looking at ways to make that a little bit more creative. And certainly during COVID, I've had an opportunity to really experiment a little bit. I had a gorgeous young model come in, and we went across the road, up a kangaroo track in the bush, and just looked for light and how the light worked, and did some amazing photos. So yeah, it's I think it's the creativity, I think, is the best part of it. And learning, I have an amazing group of people that I surround myself with who are a community of photographers. So I'm a member of the Little Birdy Camera Club, and I was the president there for a few years. And they're some of the best photo friends you could possibly ask for. And then I also have a group of professional photography women, and we teach each other, and we learn from each other, and we excite each other about new ideas and new projects. And that's an amazing part of a community to be a part of. When you're used to working in an office every day, and then to suddenly be working on your own. So it's good to have that kind of feedback and, chat with people that you don't normally get when you're by yourself in the studio. So COVID forced us to close. We weren't allowed to shoot anymore, obviously, because of the restrictions. So that was okay for me. Unfortunately, it meant this year we had a friend and I have joined forces to do all the dead balls. We photographed those. So we lost all of the dead balls this year. They've all been cancelled, the youth space one included, which we were really looking forward to. So that's a big sort of, we were preparing for that. So making sure that all my other work was up to date and that I didn't book things during March because I had a number of dead balls on. And then COVID hit and everything got cancelled. So it was a little bit of a, what do we do now? But it did enable me to be able to work on the business a bit more, my webpage and things. So that's been okay. In between the two restrictions, people went, bam, we want photos. So we tried to fit in as many of those as we could. But one of the things during the first shutdown was a friend of mine's mother turned 100. And I thought that was exceptional. And I hadn't picked up a camera pretty much all year. So this was going into the start of May, and I hadn't picked up a camera since start of January. And I had no interest in photographing. I'd kind of just gone, you know what, I'm going to have a little break. And, and the whole Corona coaster stuff that you have to, your mind and all of that. So anyway, I went to deliver a card, and she sat on her porch, and people drove past and wished her happy birthday. And she had all of these things, beautiful things that happened to her on the day. And I got there and I gave the card to my friend, over the fence and all of that because of restrictions, and some flowers for her mum. And I thought, why didn't I bring my camera today? Why didn't I photograph this? And I was really disappointed in myself that I'd missed that opportunity to photograph something so incredible. And it's incredible to reach 100 years old. And she's such a beautiful woman. So anyway, the next week I thought about it and I thought, no. So I rang and I said, can I photograph her? And this was just as we were coming out of restrictions. So I went over and I spent an afternoon with May talking to her and asking her questions about growing up and coming to Traralgon and what her birthday meant. And it was amazing. And that's when I realised I needed to be around people more. So I decided, I'd seen a few people do the driveway project, And I was undecided, and I thought, no, I think I'll do it for my local community, for Traralgon South and Coligny people. I'll see if there's any interest. So I popped it on our local community page, and it went off. I thought, oh, okay, all right. So I turned up and did the first couple, and I was going to do it like I've seen them doing it in Melbourne, where people stand on their doorstep and you stand at the end of the driveway, or you're in your car and you take 1 or 2 photos and you move on. And that's not who I am, and that's not how I photograph. By the time I got to like the 3rd or 4th family, it was, you know, they live on properties. We live in the bush for a reason. We live out of town in a regional area for a reason. And they've got animals, and they've got pets, and they've got alpacas and chickens and goats and all of these, and, you know, beautiful properties with amazing gardens. And so then it was, oh, you know, and I was starting to meet all of these people in my local community, and it was incredible. So that project went much bigger than what it was originally intended, but it was amazing to do as well. And I met all these wonderful local people. And yeah, and it allowed me to be creative and to get out and talk to people and use my camera again. And that was a really good thing for me. I kept saying to people, this is better for me than it is for you. This has been my well-being, you know. But yeah, it was a really fun project to do, and great feedback from all the people we photographed. Gippsland is an incredible region. We're an hour and a half to the city, an hour and a half to the high country, an hour and a half to the beach. We're surrounded by the most beautiful landscapes and wildlife and communities. So I moved here when I was 19, so I was actually brought up in Melbourne. And I've worked with people who are like, oh, why would you want to live in the valley? And I've gone, you know what, why would you want to live anywhere else? You know, and part of that last question about the driveway project, you know, just shows what an amazing community we have here. So I don't feel that we miss out on anything, but I do think that we have the best of a lot of the, you know, different worlds. So it's a beautiful place to live. We brought our children up here at the schools here. They made incredible friends. We've got amazing friends as well. We love to go camping, we love to go exploring and do all of those things, and you've got it right on your doorstep here in Gippsland. We have incredible opportunities here that I don't think a lot of other areas have, and we should be very grateful for that. So yeah, I think that's why I love Gippsland.